Hi everyone, and welcome to the Ultimate Flesh and Blood Holiday Gift Guide. My name is Liv, or T in TCG, and today I thought I would give some gift suggestions for non-TCG players looking for gifts for players, players looking for other players, or just people on YouTube looking for gift ideas. One of my favorite things to do at this time of year is just binge watch gift ideas. Whether I'm on Christmas Talk or Giftgram, or scrolling through Pinterest for ideas that I will realistically never execute, or even looking at 101 crochet ideas on YouTube. So this video comes quite naturally after filling my head with all of these gift ideas over the last couple weeks. Almost every gift in this video is good for new players to Flesh and Blood as well as experts, and many of these gifts work for people who play other types of TCGs like Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, or One Piece. This is also my first ever giveaway video, and I will be choosing one of my subscribers at random to win $150 worth of quite cool Flesh and Blood related stuff, so be sure to stay to the end for instructions on how to enter that. Without further ado, let's get into the video. I'm going to quickly go over some gifts for non-TCG players who are looking for fab products to buy for new players, or people who they know who want to get into the game or maybe just mentioned it, who might not really know where to start. So if you feel like you don't fit into this category, feel free to skip to the next part of the video. First up, we've got Flesh and Blood Round the Table. This one's a bit on the pricier side at around 90 New Zealand dollars, but it's totally worth it. Inside, you get 4 different Blitz decks designed for multiplayer games. Think of it like Commander and Magic the Gathering. It's great for teaching the game, and with simple learn-to-play decks, you can have exciting 4-player games, or even play 1v1 if you prefer. Plus, there's a really nice playmat included, which honestly could make a fantastic gift on its own. Next is the classic constructed Armoury decks. These are perfect for beginners or anyone who's still deciding on a deck to call their own. For about $60 to $90, you get ready-to-go Armoury decks that you can take straight to an event. My personal recommendation right now is definitely the Jarl deck, which releases on November 29th, but there are others to choose from. You can always just choose the one that looks the coolest. Another great option is the Rhinar vs Dorinthea Classic Battle set, priced at 65 New Zealand dollars. This one's fantastic for beginners and comes with 2 Blitz decks, Cold Foil Hero cards, Rainbow Foil equipment, a playmat, and a lore booklet. It checks all the boxes for new players looking to dive into the game with some shiny cardboard. And finally, we've got the Blitz decks, which are super affordable, around $10 to $20 each. Just a heads up, not all heroes in these decks are legal in the standard format, so if you're unsure, ask your local store for advice. My top picks right now are Arachne or the First Strike Aurora deck, or if you're looking for something for someone who likes to play with others, I'd recommend the Part the Mistveil or Rosetta collection boxes for $99. These give you 4 Blitz decks and a gorgeous playmat. If you're thinking that's great, but where do I buy this stuff? They can usually be found at a local game store or LGS. I've linked Flesh and Blood's retailer locator down in the descriptions, so you literally just have to type in your city and it will let you know where the nearest stores are that sell Flesh and Blood product. You can always just search on Google for specific items and it should point you in the right direction. Alright, now let's talk about cards, one of the best ways to spoil a Flesh and Blood fan this holiday season. But if you're not quite sure what your recipient already owns, I wouldn't recommend grabbing cards unless you know they'll appreciate it regardless. That said, if you do know what they need, these are some awesome card-related gifts to check out. First up is obviously Command and Conquer. At around 110 New Zealand dollars, it's fairly pricey, but it's one of those cards that most people will need in at least one deck. And $330 for a playset is usually not a price that beginners are willing to pay up front. Second is Enlightened Strike. Again, it's just one of those cards, and it's definitely a more budget-friendly version at around 45 New Zealand dollars for the unlimited print version if you can find one. The next 2 cards are equipment that are again very versatile, and those are Crown of Providence and Fyendal Spring Tunic, which are around 100 to 150 New Zealand dollars depending on where you buy them from. If you have a smaller budget but know the person you're buying for is building decks and missing cards, I highly recommend watching Sloop Doop's video. You can get all of these cards for under $5, many for under $1, or potentially even find them for free by digging through Fab Bulk at game stores. These are really useful cards and can go in most decks as a replacement for those really pricey cards, which is especially great for new players, beginners, or even just players on a budget. If you're not sure where to look, websites such as Fab Armoury and some local game stores do sell singles. You can also put a buy post up in your local Flesh and Blood sales and trades or marketplace groups on places like Facebook. If you're buying from Facebook though, make sure you get a reference check on the seller and look out for potential scam. And finally, if you can't decide on a specific card, you can't can't go wrong with packs and boxes. Packs are perfect for stocking stuffers, and here in New Zealand they're usually just $6. For a bigger budget, a booster box runs around $120, or you could go all out with a full case for $460. I also thought I'd give a special mention to this kind of display. I think a booster pack bouquet is just such a lovely and unique gift, and it really shows your interest and appreciation of someone and how you're invested in their hobbies. Now, opening a case can take a long time, so does writing, recording, and editing a Flesh and Blood YouTube video, and so does practicing your trading card hobbies over and over and over. This brings me to this video's sponsor, Eliksir. As a TCG player, or at least someone who knows a player, you'll understand how tiring it is to play 8 rounds at a tournament, or even head to a casual 3-hour event after doing a full 8-hour workday. I absolutely love playing Flesh and Blood as much as possible, but sometimes after a full day studying, I just want to go home and take a nap. That's where Eliksir comes in. It's an energy drink that gives me a long-term boost without a crash, with 0 sugar, 0 caffeine, and more B vitamins than regular energy drinks. For scientific viewers, it's designed to boost the Krebs cycle to keep you focused and energized to play games to the best of your ability. At only 60 cents per serving, it will make the perfect gift for your TCG-obsessed friends and family, and you can get 20% off by using my code LIVE20. Moving on to my favorite section in this video, accessories. If you've seen me at an Armoury, you'll know I love my decorated things, like my dice holder, my deck boxes, and always having a playmat that matches my hero. And I've even graduated to wearing matching things like my card sleeves and my stir the pot earrings. Anyway, I definitely feel confident on advising gifts in this area. In fact, this might be the only Flesh and Blood related thing that I'm actually qualified to talk about. First up is playmats. They are super simple but definitely essentials. You can grab them from fab sales or trade groups, and there are tons of designs to choose from, hero-specific, art-based, or even ones that lay out the combat chain. I don't think people realize how easy it is though to make custom playmats. They're much more personal and can make a really special gift. You can easily upload a photo to Etsy like this, and people also don't know that the Flesh and Blood website actually gives you the elements you need to design a fab-specific mat. I made this one for under $50 before I even knew what Flesh and Blood was, and it was super easy. In a similar vein are playmat holders and cases. If you know someone who's tired of rolling up their mat and shoving it in a bag, then this will be the perfect gift. You can buy a pro version for around $33 or even make one yourself. This is one that I made, and it is actually super practical. If you know how to knit, crochet, or weave, it works up super quickly and is quite cheap because you can use materials like acrylic yarn. I also found some really cool designs like this one, and this one, which are just so unique you absolutely cannot go wrong. Moving on to deck boxes. A high quality deck box is a great gift for anyone who's always building new decks. I've personally had my eye on this 85 New Zealand dollar one for ages, but it's just a little bit out of my price range. If you're grabbing one from a local game store, look for one with a magnetic closure and fabric lining for durability, rather than the plastic ones. If you want to make it extra special, you can personalize it with stickers, gems, and cards like I do. For specific, unique, and special ideas, I found these ones which are so funny. It's a little milk carton and a trash bin. There are also just nice ones like this, or this, which range from like $40 to $70. If by any chance you're handy with a laser cutter, there are also patterns you can buy for a really nice handmade box, but that is way out of my expertise. I recommend just having a look online because there are so many specific designs out there, you might just find the absolute perfect gift deck box. Now let's talk card sleeves. This can be a simple gift, and you can't go wrong with Ultimate Guard Katana or Dragon Shield sleeves. They're reliable and come in loads of colors and set at around $20, which works for pretty much any type of present. However, they can also be fun and personalized. I recently received these custom sleeves which match my clothes, and I love them so much. You can use any artwork or even a photo, and making custom sleeves is actually a fairly easy process through sellers like this or websites like this. On this, one thing that every card gamer always needs is mini snaps. They are cheap, they are simple, and I assure you they will be perfect. For collectors and beginners alike, a card binder is a must-have even if they already have one. I personally love these 2x2 binders because they're super handy and portable, but also high quality so you can take them to events. You can also customize them like I have to add a personal touch, and they come in many sizes at many different price points. However, this wouldn't be a suggestion if I hadn't found a way to actually customize it. You can get an engraved binder which feels much more classy than the regular ones, and if you like the classy style, there's also this leather one, or there's there's ultra cute ones like these, which have dice and gems and cats. I'm a big fan of buying the standard ones and just decorating them from there, but you can pretty much do whatever you want with these. This is another gift you cannot go wrong with. I want to give a special mention to wearable items, which I wouldn't recommend for a new player, but are the perfect gift for Flesh and Blood ride or die fans. So if someone you love is very into the game, this can be a good option. I made these stir the pot earrings because I love the card, but the options for making stuff like this are pretty open. You could get a t-shirt with their favorite art on it, or even make something like this pitch cardigan that I've been working on. And finally, my last recommendations for accessories are tokens and dice. These are super handy for tracking game states, and again, you pretty much cannot go wrong. I love metal fab tokens, which are gorgeous and pretty budget friendly, like these Dominate Go Again tokens or these pitch tokens at less than $15. For something more luxurious, they also have these beautiful dice for $35. I use this dice set for every single Flesh and Blood game, and they're pretty budget friendly at only $30. It will always be my fab go-to stocking stuffer or Secret Santa gift, and they're just awesome. I love them. If you want something really personal and unique, an altered card is perfect. You can commission a local artist for a one-of-a-kind design, or check out cool tokens and altered cards on Etsy. These range from free to a few $100, but an altered card can be a really special gift that the recipient will treasure forever. I think it's worth asking around at your local armories and stores to see if there's any artists, because you might be surprised, and it's always nice to support locally when you can. But you can always look on Fiverr, Etsy, or just online generally and reach out to artists to see if anyone's up for the challenge. And the final gift I recommend is the greatest gift of all: your presence. If you're not a player, let your player friend teach you the ways of Flesh and Blood. If you are a player, you can always request that your friends let you sit them down and teach them the rules. Obviously, the items I talked about in this video are cool, but there's nothing that encapsulates the Flesh and Blood spirit except for playing in the Flesh and Blood with your loved ones over the holidays. Except, of course, my mystery Flesh and Blood giveaway sponsored by Eliksir. We have $150 worth of very cool Flesh and Blood products to send to one of my subscribers. So to enter, make sure you're subscribed to my channel and let me know down in the comments what a gift is that you've received that's gone over really well, or something that you've given to someone else that they really love. Bonus points if it is Flesh and Blood or TCG related. That is all for today's video, so thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.